Alright, so we're gonna have a conversation about where we grew up and how that shaped who we are today. So if you guys want to just introduce yourselves, give us your name and where you're from. Tony, you want to start?
I'm Tony Messino, and I'm from Langhorne, Pennsylvania.
I'm Johnny Fernandez. I'm from Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
I'm Luca Nezzi. I'm from Taos, New Mexico.
Alright, so to start off, why don't you guys tell us a little bit about your hometown, what it was like?
So I'm from Pennsylvania. I'm from a town that's a little bit outside of Philadelphia. Not much to my town. There's like a little downtown to it. It's pretty much just like, I don't know, average middle class. Outside, outside the city. Nothing too fancy though.
Yeah, what were the schools like?
I mean, there's the normal public schools all around, but there's like a pretty preppy boarding school around, but I don't really know many people that go to it, but it's by the skate park, so.
Where'd you go to high school?
I actually went to a different private school in Jersey, because like we're right on the river, so it's like 10 minutes away. But yeah, Notre Dame.
Word. How about you guys?
My town's like on the water. It's on like an intercoastal system, South Florida, so super tropical, beachy, fishing town. It's like an extension kind of Miami to the north. It's pretty like low-rise buildings. There's one big city area section, but it's like blocked off to this one tiny area. And other than that, it's pretty much like beachy, like tropical Keys type town.
Yeah, it's like Florida town.
Yeah, exactly.
How's New Mexico?
My town was like a small mountain town, like 25 minutes away from the ski hill. Super cold in the winter, super dry in the summer. Not a lot of people live there. Like everyone kind of knows everyone. Yeah.
True. Do you guys think there's like a cookie cutter version of a kid that grows up in your area? And like how would you describe that if there is?
I mean, I guess if you want to pinpoint a cookie cutter, it'd be like, I guess like a classic East Coast kid, like more like, yeah, classic Philadelphia kid, like a little Northeast, not like, I don't know, kind of arrogant, probably a little more arrogant than people would think.
Like preppy or grungy?
I mean, like, not much prep, more grunge than, not like grunge, but like, I don't know, like, just like,
Standard suburb kid?
yeah, like pretty much just like the average like PA kid.
True. How about you guys?
Like,
Mine's definitely like a salt life, truck driving, Christian kid. There's like a lot of representation of that in my area for sure. That's kind of like the standard Fort Lauderdale kid, I guess. You would expect like from the high schools in the area.
Mm-hmm.
For my area, it's probably like Hispanic, like rodeo kid, honestly. That drives like a big truck.
Little goofy southern kind of style.
Yeah.
Country.
Yeah.
Alright. Do you guys think that like that version of a kid you guys just described, do you think you guys fit into that version at all?
No.
nah.
Nah, a little bit, but
A little bit? In what ways?
I could see it in myself too.
yeah, like it's, I don't know, just, I mean, the things I'm into, like, they're like the people that are around you all the time, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
So there's like
just
certain
kids I go fishing
aspects.
with and stuff, yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
like I
some
say
aspects.
certain things because of like some of the people I've been around. Recently.
Yeah. It's just like, even though you're a little different, it's like still in you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. So if you don't see yourself as that specific kind of person, did you associate with a specific community outside of like that version, growing up as a kid?
Wait, can you repeat the question?
Yeah, I associated myself with like a smaller group.
Yeah, like different. Yeah, like
Outside
I don't.
of like the regular cookie cutter like version.
I'm the outcast.
Yeah. So,
For
so
sure.
you think of yourself as an outcast?
Yeah, that. Yeah.
To the
At least to, like, the
runabout
general-
kid in
Yeah.
your neighborhood.
At least to like the general like kid population. or
Yeah,
whatever.
definitely.
I mean, there's a reason I'm in Colorado and not still there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like different ethnicity definitely than a lot of the kids that live in
Yeah,
my
me
area
too.
too. So
Very different
For that
ethnicity.
Did that play a big part in the communities you hung out with?
not as much for me, just because it's not really that like homogenous in my area. Where like it would just like outside of my community is very like Christian and sort of that like sort of more privileged like area, but like my high school and stuff was just filled with like all different kinds of kids. So like there wasn't, I don't know, people
Yeah,
are used to seeing like every type of person.
Yeah,
so,
there was
I
no,
didn't
like,
get treated
dividing
different.
line.
Like yeah, like South Florida has tons of Hispanic kids, so
Mm.
it wasn't like unusual.
Yeah, like my smaller like friend group was like more like me, obviously like did the things I liked, but the general population there like that I was still friends with were like a little different than like or like than me at least.
Yeah. So if in your, let's say, outcast groups, did you guys gravitate towards a specific goal, like whether it was a sport or an activity or a hobby or something, that kind of defined your group?
Just the outdoors for me, honestly, like in general, just like that's what we'd go do when we'd be bored, just go do something outside.
Yeah. Get outside because there's nothing to do inside.
Yeah, exactly.
I was kind of in like a lot of clubs in high school. Like spent like a lot of my weekends like debate and Model UN, to be honest. So like I had like a group of friends that were like smart, academic oriented like kids, other than like the normal like fishing, diving crew
Say
like I was
fish
hanging
people
out
aren't
with.
smart.
I'm not saying that, but like kids that were seriously oriented towards like achieving like academic goals, like kids that wanted to go to like top schools, that type of thing.
Did you only hang out with those kids, or are you saying you had your
Nah, but that,
fishing
like,
friends too?
Yeah, that like broke me off from that like normal group. I'm saying,
Yeah.
because I would spend a lot of weekends like traveling with those kids and stuff. So otherwise, I would have been like probably with a pretty different group. So
Yeah.
like that like definitely shifted me away from the kids I probably would have been hanging out with every weekend otherwise.
True. Like a steady group it kind of pulled you away from.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys do anything specific?
Yeah,
Don't say it.
yeah, I skateboard. So clearly I did it.
Did all your homies skateboard? Or?
I mean, yeah, most of them. Like, I had homies in school, obviously, because, like, when I went to, like, middle school and stuff, a lot of my skate homies went to my school, but then when I got sent away to the other school, there's not many skaters in that school, so, like, I had my school friends, you know, like, that I would see on, like, maybe a weekend or two, but, like, hang out with mostly at school and after school, and then, like, if I wasn't doing that, I was skating with everyone. So I'd say I'm more associated with, like, the skate community in my town
Yeah, than anything else.
than anything else, yeah.
Yeah. You kind of touched on it just before, Luca, but like what drew you to those communities? Like you said, it was the need to get outdoors and do stuff for boredom. Like, were your guys' experiences similar? Or do you want to touch on that?
Like what drew me out of my normal.
Yeah, like what drew you to those kind of friend groups, and if you saw yourself as an outcast, how did you kind of fit into that group?
Yeah. Well, like for how I was talking about spending weekends doing like the academic type stuff, it was just kind of similar goals, I guess. Like wanting to go to a good school, wanting to go away to college, and like scholarship, whatever it was. Like that kind of pushed me in that direction, and so like I just kind of did the clubs because that was just what I liked. That's what I wanted to go to school for, and like that was my goal as a kid.
So yeah, you were pretty school oriented
Yeah.
through high school. Like that was.
Through high school for sure, until senior year. Then obviously like I kind of like changed went more towards the kids that lived in my area in senior year and moved away from like everyone in my high school. But for the first 3 years of high school, it was like weekends were spent there. Like
Yeah.
after school was there, and like sports, lacrosse after school, like that was kind of like the unit. And so then that changed senior year when I stopped doing those things as much.
What kind of changed that?
I just lost steam.
Yeah.
I was over it. Yeah, too many years of like just constant studying, like weekends flying here or there, like prepping in between schoolwork for like competitions. I just didn't want to do it anymore senior year. So I stopped.
Did you see yourself like liking one side or the other better?
Super different, and I'm not sure which one is better. Sometimes I wish I had picked up steam later on in life and like tried harder in college to do those types of things, but that was kind of like what I did in high school, I guess. So
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you what it would be like to still be doing that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Hard to see. How about you, Tony? Were you always a skater?
I mean, like, yeah, no, like, I played sports. I was really into football and stuff, and, like, I did all the sports up until, like, middle school, I'd say, probably. So, baseball, basketball, but I liked football a lot, so I played football in middle school, and I would literally go to football practice and then go to the skate park after. It's pretty ridiculous. I don't know how, thinking back, I would do it. I would have, like, full football practices and then just go straight to the skate park after. But then it kind of just interfered, like, it was like if I was going to get injured playing football or getting injured playing skating. And then once I got to high school, I was too tiny. And I messed with skating way more.
Yeah, so the love of skating just kind of
Yeah,
took
like,
over
football was
everything
cool and
else.
all, but, like, it gets to a certain level where I was just like, I'd rather put all my effort into skating. I thought going to the higher level of skating was more fun than trying to advance in, like, football. But I still enjoy sports, you know, I watch them still all the time.
Just
So
watch her.
I sit on the couch and watch it.
So, with these communities, how do you think they have, if they have, affected who you are today and like everyday choices you make and kind of the person you are today?
Tony.
Wait, repeat the question.
Like, what ways do you think being part of the skate community has changed you?
Yeah, of course, being part of the skate community has pretty much shaped my whole life, honestly. Like, the clothes I wear, like, the way I think about the world. Like, if you look at say, like, a parking lot when you're a skater, you're looking at it completely different than, say, anyone else. You're just looking for places to find to go skate, and just, like, I guess the slang, like, what I wanted to do on the weekends and stuff, like, it pretty much, like, controls my life.
Yeah, the whole culture.
Yeah, just the whole culture, like, where I wanted to be, like, who I want to be around, everything like that.
Do you guys think that being in your communities has shaped as much as Tony has?
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely, yeah, honestly.
Yeah, kind of all the same things. A lot of the culture can revolve around like what you wear and how you talk and who you hang out with and what you guys do together and stuff. So what made your community different than someone else's? Let's say any of these two guys right here.
We had water.
You had water?
Barely.
Barely.
Compared to us. You're inland.
Yeah, but I'm
You're
Less
talking
inland than him.
Philly and Florida.
Yeah.
compared to Utah.
Compared to Utah, for sure.
Yeah, he's got no water.
I live a very different life from Utah. Shorts all year round. And it's like boating and fishing is like the local economy pretty much, like in a big way. So that, like, I don't know, I was big into diving in like high school and stuff, and then that translates to like where I am now, because I still like anything that's like outdoors, it pushes me. So like, yeah, that community's different, but it leads to the same places in a lot of ways. It's like, because like me and Luca like the same stuff now, but like we came from way different scenarios.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, Luca, what made snowboarding different than what Johnny would have experienced in Florida?
I mean, personally, I went to like a snowboarding oriented school, so like I went to school in the summers instead of the winters, and I had like my summer break was like in the winter, so I had like the whole winter off, which is obviously completely different than how you went to high school. And like just the mountains and the snow, completely different. You have to wear different clothes, like you have to literally know how to drive differently, like
Yeah, it
everything.
affects
It was, like,
every aspect of your life.
Yeah, literally. like what time you have to leave for school, like
Yeah.
everything.
When was the first time you ever saw snow, Johnny?
Probably on vacation. I was lucky. I used to come out here to Colorado sometimes when I was a kid, but it was like the biggest deal in the world. Like I would
Yeah.
like die to like just go see snow for like a few days out of the year, and like we wouldn't even go every year. It'd be every like few years I'd see snow.
See, that's like the same with me in like the beach.
Yeah,
like,
you
I
just
would,
never went.
like I would go like once a year, maybe.
Yeah.
And I'd be so stoked to be there for like 5 days and just
There's-
get to like swim around in the salt water.
Yeah, sunny all day, every day.
Yeah,
Dude, I
Wake
best
up,
of
not
both worlds, bro.
What'd you have?
Cause in the summers I had a little house on the Jersey Shore, so like in the summers I pretty much lived like 3 blocks from the beach every summer growing up. So like it was like winter and snow in Philly, and like there's not really mountains anywhere by me, but like you drive an hour and 30 minutes and you can get to the Appalachians. So like in the winter I grew up snowboarding, and then when it get nice out I would skate and go to the beach. So I kind of bought out on you too. Except not the best beach ever in the world, and not the best in Holland.
You gotta
Yeah.
compromise.
I had to compromise.
You have
Yeah.
sick
Curve
beaches,
boat.
I have sick
Yeah.
mountains, he has neither.
Yeah.
He has both.
Alright. So one last question to wrap it up here. So talking about the communities that you guys associate yourselves with, we'll just go one by one here. Tony, if you want to start, do you think of yourself as a skater or just something you do?
No, I'm a skater.
You're a skater?
Yeah, 100%.
100%. How about you, Johnny? You think you're a fisherman, or are you just something you like to do?
I think it's somewhere in between. I don't know. I don't think like fishing can define as much of my life, especially being in Colorado. Like that's kind of been the biggest thing. Like I feel separated a lot from how I grew up and like the things I would do every weekend.
Yeah.
So like I don't know. I feel pretty conflicted now. Like I would say right now in my life it's not that big a part of it, but I could see it when I get older and probably move back home.
What do you
like,
think you are right now?
Some in between, jack of all trades, but master of none.
A student. A
Yeah, I'm just a
student.
student right now.
Just
Aren't we
Student of
all
everything.
just a student right now?
Just learning.
Yeah.
Alright, Luca, how about you? Do you think you're a snowboarder or just...
Yeah, I'd say snowboarding's definitely part of my identity.
Yeah.
It's something I can't live without, so definitely say it is.
Alright, well, thank you guys for sharing.